Here are my Central Division predictions for the NHL's 2024-25 season. In the 8th spot, I've got the Chicago Blackhawks. This team's going to be good in the future. They've got some good young pieces such as Connor Bedard, and they just drafted Artyom Levshunov. And while they added Tyler Bertuzzi and Teuvo Teravainen in the offseason, their rebuild still isn't over yet, and I anticipate that there will be at least one more year of tanking for the Blackhawks before they're able to compete for a playoff spot. In the 7th spot, I've got the St. Louis Blues. The Blues had the most points of any non-playoff team last year, and while they added Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg in the offseason, I just don't think those additions are going to be able to push them over the edge. This team just feels like they're caught in that tough position where they're not bad enough to be able to get the number 1 overall pick, but they're also not good enough to make the playoffs. In the 6th spot, I've got the Minnesota Wild. The good news for Wild fans is that this is the last season where the Wild have $14 million in dead cap being paid to Ryan Suter and Zach Parise. I'm excited for the sophomore season of Brock Faber after an impressive rookie year, and while Kirill Kaprizov might just drag this team into the playoffs, I think the Wild are a solid team, but I don't think they're a great team, and I'm not very confident in their goaltending either, as Gustafsson and Fleury both had save percentages below .900 last season. In the 5th spot in the Central and just missing the playoffs, I've got the Hockey Club. Utah improved their defense in the offseason by adding Mikhail Sergachev and John Marino. They've got a lot of young and exciting talent up front. Logan Cooley's entering his second season in the NHL, and Josh Stone is entering his first full season in the NHL. He was impressive in the games that he played for the Coyotes towards the end of last season. And for Utah, while I don't think that they're going to be a top 4 team in this division, I think they'll be exciting to watch, and who knows, maybe they'll end up sneaking into the playoffs. In the 4th spot in the Central Division and the first wildcard team in the Western Conference, I've got the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets were very good in the regular season last year, finishing 2nd in the Central Division. They've got a deep forward group once again this year, and I expect Cole Perfetti to be a potential breakout candidate for this Jets team, and they've still got the reigning Vezina winner Connor Hellebuyck in goal, so I anticipate that he'll steal some games for the Jets. In the 3rd spot, I've got the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have the best high-end talent of anyone in the Central Division. They've got the reigning Hart Trophy winner Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar, and Mikko Rantanen. And while those 3 players might just drag the Avalanche to first place in the Central Division, their depth up front is not good, and I'm not very sure about their goaltending, especially after the year that Georgiev had last season. At 2nd in the Central Division, I've got the Nashville Predators. The Preds had the best offseason of anyone in the NHL by adding Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Shea. You have to think that Roman Josi is going to be contending for the Norris Trophy once again this year. And after a bit of a down year last season, I think UC Soros is going to have a bounce-back year for the Preds. And in 1st in the Central Division, I've got the Dallas Stars. The biggest question for the Stars is not if they can win the Central Division, it's if they can win the Stanley Cup after another year where they had a deep playoff run but failed to win it all. The Stars have the best forward depth of anyone in the Central Division. They've got that elite defenseman in Miro Heiskanen. They've got a great goaltender in Jake Ottinger, but we'll have to see if this group can finally piece it all together and win the Stanley Cup this upcoming season. But as always, leave a like, drop a follow on the Armchair Athletes, and let me know in the comments who you would move up or down from my predictions.